watching KGUN-9 on your side. News at 10.
We begin tonight with several breaking news stories. 9 on your side's Ricky Mitchell is live in Vail, where there's an active SWAT situation.
Maggie Vespa just back from Mount Lemmon, where human remains were found. And Corey Marshall is at a water main break on the east side.
But first, we begin with Ricky in Vail. Ricky, what can you tell us about that SWAT situation?
So Stella, Guy, what we know right now is there was a 17-year-old boy armed and outside of his home in a neighborhood just west of here. Now, deputies moved us to this parking lot east of the neighborhood for our safety because the boy is outside of his home with a gun. There is an ambulance behind me on standby in case anything happens. Now, here's what we know so far about how this whole situation started. Deputies say they received a call at about 5:30 saying that there was a man outside of his home holding a gun to his head, and there were other people around him trying to get him to put the gun down. Now, because he was armed, SWAT was then called out to the scene. Negotiators came and they are trying to talk him down right now. He is still outside of the home in between two houses and sort of a drainage ditch here in the neighborhood, and they are basically just trying to get him to stop and put the gun down. Now, as far as we know, he did not threaten anyone with the gun except for himself. He did not point it at anyone except for himself. But again, deputies are on scene here trying to talk him down. Now, I did speak off camera with the father of the boy. He didn't want to speak on camera, but he said that this whole thing started because his son got into an argument with his girlfriend. Now, again, back out here live, deputies are on scene still in the neighborhood just to the west of where I'm standing right now. Negotiators trying to talk this boy down, and we will keep you updated with any developments as we get them. Reporting live from Vail, I'm Ricky Mitchell, KGUN-9 on your side.
Thank you, Ricky. Now to a gruesome discovery miles above Tucson.
A badly decomposed body discovered on Mount Lemmon.
So badly that deputies were not sure at first whether those remains were human. Not in your side's Maggie Vespa, live in the newsroom with more on that.
Guys, Stella, the situation changing by the minute. Deputies initially, we are told, were only able to label those remains as human because the body was wearing clothes, a brown cable knit sweater and a scarf, to be exact. Now, this happened near the Marshall Gulch Trail, which begins, if you're not familiar, where the road cutting through Summer Haven ends. The unsuspecting hikers were exploring in that area around 5 p.m. today when they stumbled upon these remains. The few still left on the mountain this evening say the news is troubling.
It's pretty shocking and unexpected. We've only seen a couple of hikers and maybe 3 cars passing by, so not a very busy area today.
Now, obviously, we are still waiting on several details, including gender and ID. Again, these remains badly decomposed. No word on how long they have been at that location. One clue, though, deputies say, again, those clothes, the sweater, the scarf, leading them to believe potentially this person may have made their trip to the mountain during the cooler months. Live in the newsroom, I'm Maggie Vespa, KGUN-9 on your side.
Maggie, thank you. And tonight, crews with Tucson Water are working to fix a 12-inch water main break. Check out all the damage you see there, and traffic is restricted in the area, and it will not stop tonight.
9 on your side's Corey Marshall is live with the latest at the scene. Corey, what can you tell us?
Yeah, this happened actually just after 6. We just spoke with a spokesperson for Tucson Water who says construction crews were working on a sewer main here at Harrison and Escalante when they struck a 12-inch water line, rupturing that water line. Up until now, they've actually just been working on the cleanup. What you can see past those lights, past that tractor there, is actually a massive hole in the ground. They've been working on the cleanup there right now. They're working on the repairs. Now, because of the extent of the damage, they're saying that the repair is probably going to go until the early morning hours. Just because this happened at Escalante and Harrison doesn't mean that's the only place that you need to avoid. Harrison between Barnett and Irvington is actually completely blocked off. So if you have plans to come over here to the far east side, avoid the area tonight and tomorrow morning. Now, originally, a spokesperson for Tucson Water told us that they only thought one person was affected. They're saying now that actually someone passed a mobile home community past Escalante just south is actually without power. They have water bottles set up there for people that need water because it is still pretty muggy outside here. But again, avoid the area if you can. Escalante at Harrison. Harrison from Barnett to Irvington completely blocked off, and it will be for several hours. Reporting live on the east side, Corey Marshall, KGUN-9 on your side.
All right, Corey, thank you. Well, we saw some active storms today just southeast and southwest of Tucson.
The question is, when will Tucson get the rain and the cooler temps? Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen.
Well, we'll have to wait about 48 hours for both of those, but we do have increasing chances for storms tomorrow, and then even better as we head through the Friday, Saturday, Sunday time frame. And our thunderstorms today, the one in particular near Douglas, did in fact turn severe and heavy enough rain to bring on a flash flood warning. Both of those advisories have now been lifted. All we're seeing are a few spotty showers across central Cochise, south central Pima County. From Tucson, though, you look off to the southeast, you might still see some of those lightning strikes in the distance, but we're not expecting any of that rain to move into Tucson. Right now we're at 89 degrees. Where we have had the rain, temperatures have dropped off quickly, like Nogales at 70 down to 77, Sierra Vista and in Douglas. Again, partly cloudy skies right now at Tucson's airport with 89 degrees. And it's back to school for some students tomorrow. I'll let you know if you should pack that umbrella or not coming up.
Aaron, thank you. Tucson police arrested a trio of home invaders on the south side. Police say these three men chose a random home near Park and Bilby, but police got there before they got the chance to break in. All three were wearing ski masks and ran, but police caught up to them and arrested all three.
Well, it looks like being a smoker may keep you from getting a job. Pima County Administrator Chuck Huckleberry thinks nicotine use should exclude job seekers who want a new job with the county. He wants supervisors to approve a plan that would also add to current employees' insurance fees if they don't quit. He says encouraging better employee health should save tax dollars because Pima County is self-insured.
It simply means that the county pays all the medical claims associated with illnesses or medical procedures that our employees undergo.
Huckleberry says courts have ruled nicotine use is not a legally protected right, but the union that represents many of the county's workers says the proposed policy does sound discriminatory. It is the race to replace Jan Brewer as the Republican nominee for Arizona governor.
Tonight, the League of Women Voters hosted a candidates debate at PCC West. According to the latest poll numbers, the only woman in the race, Christine Jones, leads the pack. Former Cold Stone CEO Doug Ducey is in second at 13%, but he declined an invitation to tonight's debate.
And with less than 4 weeks to go, half of Republican primary voters are undecided. 9 News Science Justin Shecker attended the debate. He joins us live now with the recap. Justin.
Guys, still the 5 candidates in attendance tonight answered questions about the state's budget deficit, the education system, the economy, and securing the border. They also expressed disappointment with Doug Ducey, their opponent, who opted to skip tonight's debate. When given the chance to question each other, former Mesa Mayor Scott Smith asked,
"How important is integrity in holding an office and running for office?"
A question calling out the candidate you've seen in TV ads.
If Barack Obama won't do the job, Arizonans will.
But who canceled taking part in the last 2 GOP candidate debates.
Were you disappointed Mr. Ducey wasn't here this evening?
Yes, I think it's a slap in the face of Arizona voters, especially here in southern Arizona, to not be here.
I was very disappointed because I think, as Mayor Smith pointed out, if you're going to run for the highest elected office in Arizona, you should be willing to be questioned and to face the voters.
Smith says Doug Ducey wasn't truthful in a debate last week about the sale of his company, Cold Stone Creamery.
And he claimed that there was no dispute, and we know for a fact there was a dispute. There was a major dispute.
As for the issue that's been featured in campaign ads,
illegal immigration costs Arizona taxpayers $2.8 billion every single year.
The moderator asked the candidates to define a secure border.
Secure border is one that eliminates 95% of illegal immigration, and that's what I intend to do.
I think secure border means controlling the border. Know who's coming across and who's not coming across.
I have called for 1,200 troops on the border in the 262 miles of the Tucson sector.
But I want to work on a coordinated, combined federal, state, and local response to securing our border, Tucson sector of the border, once and for all.
Both the Democrat and Libertarian candidates for governor are uncontested. There are also 2 candidates listed under Americans Elect, the first national online party. Early voting starts this Friday and the primary is August 26th. Back to you.
Justin, thank you. The House of Representatives has overwhelmingly approved a $16 billion bill to overhaul the Department of Veterans Affairs. The legislation is in response to the scandal over delays in care at VA medical centers and allegations of management shortcomings at the federal agency. Both Democrats and Republicans threw their support behind this measure in a 420-5 vote.
A $2.7 billion spending bill to deal with the influx of illegal immigrants crossing the border cleared a procedural hurdle in the U.S. Senate today. Lawmakers voted to begin formal debate on the emergency measure. The bill does not include controversial changes to a 2008 law to expedite deportations. Well, for the second time in a month, the school in Gaza has been bombed. It was run by the UN and used to shelter civilians. The Palestinian Health Ministry says at least 20 people were killed in this blast. Meanwhile, the UN is blaming Israel, who says it was responding to militants in the area who fired on their soldiers.
We had notified the Israeli army 17 times of the precise coordinates of this school because we wanted to protect it. And we told them, of course, that there were 3,300 people in that facility. Our last call to them was at 10 to 9 last night, just hours before this fatal shelling.
Also new today, Hamas released a video which claims to show a successful attack inside Israel. It shows Palestinian fighters using an underground tunnel to sneak into Israel and attack a military tower.
It's a college on a deadline. The deadline has been met, but now Pima Community College waits to find out its future.
Plus, what a hotel chain is doing to help education one student at a time. That's what KGUN-9 News at 10 continues. Well, Pima Community College has sent a final plan in hopes of getting off probation. The college sent a self-study report to the Higher Learning Commission today, a day before the deadline. The study involved the work of hundreds of employees, students, and community members who examined all the facets of the college.
Most of the faculty that I've spoken with feel a change and a sense of hope and optimism for the future for Pima Community College.
Without a doubt, it's so much better. I mean, I love coming to work every day. There's not that fear around anymore. Things are just real positive.
The next step, PCC is waiting for a Higher Learning Commission visit in mid-September, and we have a link to the self-study report on our website, KGUN9.com.
It is back to school season, and Marriott Hotels wants to make sure all of our kids are in a position to succeed. Today, employees of the hotel chain handed out donated backpacks and school supplies at the Philanthropic Program Center, Alvernon and Fairmount. All 14 Tucson Marriotts came together to organize this event and even got help from guests who were kind enough to donate.
Anybody that wants to give any school supplies, shoes, or backpacks can deliver those to any Marriott hotel in the Tucson area, and we will make sure that it gets to the Assistance League so that it can be given to these kids in need.
That's nice. And speaking of back to school, how is our weather looking? And it'll be a short week, too, for them.
Well, it is, and it'll be 2 triple-digit days for them. But then next week, we start off with some cooler temperatures, okay? That is coming up in your full forecast. But we're not seeing any of these 105s like what we felt in Tucson today. Man, it was hot out there. We'll have your forecast coming right up.
Now, KGUN-9 on your side first warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen.
Wow, check this out. Landslides caused by heavy monsoon rains may have trapped 150 people or more in a village in western India. According to one of their senior officials, there are reports that anywhere from 30 to 40 homes have been affected. About 40 ambulances, 200 volunteers were sent to the area today to help with the ongoing rescue effort. Wow. What a mess. We've seen landslides, rock slides, mudslides just within the past couple of weeks across southern Arizona as well. How about this one? Some lightning. This beautiful picture taken by John Clayton over picture rocks. If you have photos to share with us, I contribute at KGUN9.com. Best way to get your pictures on our air. And if you're in the Tucson area and you look off to the southeast, you might still see some lightning strikes here and there. You won't be hearing that thunder, though. We call that heat lightning. And although it really doesn't have a lot to do with heat, it's just that lightning that's far enough away to where you're not hearing any thunder. There's no risk of these storms moving in our direction. In fact, they're really fizzling out now. And the same goes for those few showers we had earlier over Cochise County. We are, however, left with some lingering cloud cover, so partly cloudy skies now at Tucson's airport. 89 degrees at this hour. Still a little bit breezy at times as some of those thunderstorms that aren't that far away are collapsing. 14-mile-an-hour winds right now. Again, our high today, 105 in Tucson, 108 Casa Grande, 103 in Safford. That 105, 4 degrees shy of the record of 109. That will stay safe in our record books set back in 1986. 89 now in Tucson, but down to 70 in Nogales and in the 70s for a few other places that have had the effects of that rain-cold air tonight. Sierra Vista and Douglas among them, where your temperatures in the low to upper 70s. So overnight here, Tucson will dip to about 80 degrees, but 68 for an overnight low in Wilcox, 71 for Douglas, 73 Benson, and 77 Green Valley. So just partly cloudy skies. Our storms will continue to stay well to our south and east. No need for that rain gauge here in Tucson this evening, but tomorrow a 20% chance we'll see some rain, mainly after the lunch hour with a high of 103. Now Marana will top out at 102, 96 for Wilcox, 93 Nogales. We're talking 101 for Sells, 106 Casa Grande, and 101 for Green Valley. And it's back to school for a lot of students tomorrow morning. When you're waiting for that bus, 84 degrees, partly cloudy by the afternoon, 20% chance you'll want to have that umbrella. So go ahead, put it in the little one's backpack just in case, and a high of 103. Here's a look now at the extended KGUN 9 on your side 7-day forecast. 20% chance for storms tomorrow while I'm out at Pima Animal Care Center at 5 and 6 o'clock. We have a better 30% chance for storms Friday, 40% Saturday, 30 on Sunday. We'll be right back with sports.
KGUN 9 on your side sports with sports director Jason Varr.
It is Nogales in the Little League World Series. We're talking the 12 and 13-year-old intermediate age group. The boys from the border town are taking on a team from West Virginia in Livermore, California. We have pictures and a video to pass along. Here are fans who made the trip to support the team. And then it is some pregame ceremonies. Nogales had a 2-0 lead when Aaron Solis stepped to the plate in the 4th inning. This is the guy who had 15 strikeouts in a game last week. He has a 2 RBI double here. Nogales moves on to the winner's bracket with a 13-2 victory over West Virginia. They next play on Friday, but not before they are going sightseeing in San Francisco tomorrow. Should be a good time. The big boys now, Paul Goldschmidt, the D-backs at the Reds. No score in the 6th until Goldie changes that with this. America's first baseman with a 2-run home run at Great America Ballpark. And then some needed insurance runs. Didi Gregorius showing a little pop in his bat. That made it 5-1, and Arizona holds on to win 5-4 after the game. Infielder Eric Chavez announced his retirement. Richard Sherman can't call Patrick Peterson or his contract mediocre. The Cardinals defensive back surpasses Sherman as the highest paid corner in the league. 5 years, $70 million beats Sherman's 4-year, $56 million deal. Now, the two have been going at it on Twitter. A little war of words here, something they've done before. This is Peterson tweeting to Sherman, "You mad, bro?" with 4 exclamation points and an LMAO, which means, laughing my you-know-what off. All right, so that prompts Sherman to reply with a picture of his championship ring, as if to say, take that. He tweets, "Can't ever be too mad," and again with that laughing my you-know-what off. These are two guys who have got a little too much, not enough to do, huh? Back to Peterson at Cardinals camp today.
It's all good. He should be happy. I mean, I was happy for him for his deal. I don't know, I always somehow end up in his mouth, but it's all good. It's friendly competition. I'm not worried about it, and he's just going to bring the best out of me this year. Yeah, first time they play this year is November 23rd. UCLA's athletic director Dan Guerrero says the men's and women's basketball teams that will play at Pauley Pavilion this fall, the court is going to have to be either refurbished or rebuilt. It's waterlogged after Tuesday's water main break on Sunset Boulevard. However, 6 people who were helping to clean up are now being treated for carbon monoxide exposure. 2 were hospitalized. All are alert and breathing.
The 49-year-old building was just renovated 2 years ago for $136 million. But those people are going to be all right who were treated for carbon monoxide exposure. A bad situation getting worse.
And then there's a massive sinkhole there now that they're dealing with as well.
Sounds like a big mess.
Breaking news, we are following it. Not in your sides, Ricky Mitchell is live in Vail.
We'll have an update on what happened out here. The SWAT situation has ended. I'll let you know what happened coming up next.
And we continue to follow breaking news in Vail.
Not in your sides, Ricky Mitchell is live at a SWAT situation that has just ended. Ricky, what can you tell us?
That's right, guys. Stella, the 17-year-old boy who was out here armed with a handgun outside of a home in a neighborhood west of here has just surrendered to deputies moments ago. He was taken into custody. We are told no charges will be filed against the boy. He did not threaten anyone except for himself, but he will be taken to a hospital for treatment of his mental health issues. Reporting live out here, Ricky Mitchell, KGUN-9 on your side.
Thank you, glad it ended okay. For many students, back to school is tomorrow, and you say maybe take an umbrella with them.
It's going to be hot. It's going to be sticky. There's a 20% chance that you'll want that umbrella, especially in the afternoon, but better chance on Friday at 30%. And then over the weekend, our monsoon not taking the weekend off.
No.
40% chance for rain Saturday, 30% on Sunday.
And then you're going to be out at the PACC event as well.
Tomorrow at 5 and 6, they've got a special KGUN-9 event.
All right, Aaron, thank you.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.